All right, I'm gonna start recording at this point because I meant to a little bit earlier, but this is for Philip and for anybody else who would like a little more explanation about what the IMC project is. And in the first slide, I talked about that. To me, what we're talking about is an ad campaign. That makes it a little easier. It's not some magic thing. In fact, it's probably a little more. The scale is not as big as a full-blown marketing campaign or marketing plan, and everybody in the class has already done a marketing campaign plan previously. So I want to kind of reassure you that it's not going to be some huge thing that's going to take 24 and a half hours a day, but it does have these two things: greater focus on communication strategies, and also it is going to be using print and image-based elements and video-based. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The West Virginia University model that the course designers are pointing you to is a good one to look at. So I thought, let's go over there and take a look at it and see. Here is one. Now I blew it up a little bit so it's larger. And they have 4 student examples of their capstone projects. And Mahua decided to do Nature's Bounty Company, and you can read more about that. But here are some, and they're pretty small on here, but I blew them up so you could see a little bit more. These are some of the examples of the work. Now, also in there it says, don't worry too much about making it look really finished art, because that is not the point of this class. But if you have some tools that can help, then make it look as good as possible. The main thing is I want everybody to like on this maybe a coupon or it's a little leave behind type thing, a card perhaps with the logo on it. You would be responsible for all of the copy. And when we talk about copy, of course, we're talking about the words on here, the images and the words. It's true in print. It's very also true in social media today. All of those things are there, and I'd like for you to make sure you do all of it. Now, this is the only student at West Virginia that did storyboard because of they were doing a video. Now, I think we found something that will really help you accomplish these print projects that you come up with. And when I say the print projects, it's pretty much whatever you decide. You choose your company, and if you want to run some of the companies by me, that's fine. I don't have to approve them, but if you want some feedback, like kicking things around between you and me, that's fine. I'll give you some impressions at any time. And now this one is the storyboard. It's very simple. It's got 5 scenes here. She is, and she's got some little bubbles up there. I don't know if we can even read those, but it's talking about, I think it's in an academic setting. And let's see if we can even get a little bit bigger. It's talking about 3 different people. I think there's like profiles of 3 different kinds of customers for this product. I love my job and work 45 hours a week, but I worry about my eyes. I don't know how I can afford eye specialists when I am retired. And the person in the middle says, my smartphone is my life organizer. I know people worry about eye health with too much screen use, but really I'm just 22. How bad can it be? And then the third one, the older guy, says, all this technology and online world, it's hard to keep up, but I do want to keep up with my eye health. My eyes are my asset, and medical expense is scary. And so then, you know, the announcer comes in with the voiceover, and when you see VO, that's voiceover. In America, adults spend 8 to 10 hours every day on the screen, and it's talking about that. So it's a particular type of there. Let's look at what the next student did and go over here. Lubba Jaros has a fairly simple one too, I believe. And this is, you know, it looks like there's two graphics that she did. This is like maybe a poster. It could be a bigger poster. I don't know. But it's a campaign campaign to engage the high school students in St. Jude's mission, gives the date and so forth. And then there's another one here. You've probably seen one of these on the campus, various schools, and where it's kind of divided into little things you can rip off the bottom. So it's pretty much a focused, you know, fairly small campaign is what she's doing there. So she is just showing, they're showing two examples from her thing. I don't, you know, I would say don't make it where you have video and newspaper and magazine and television all social media. So you have like 9 or 10 different executions. I don't think that is really what you need to be spending time on, because you can spend a lot of time on this stuff. But more like 3, maybe 4 would probably do it. Now let's look at over here. Lisa is the next one. And she has done one for the UC Davis Graduate School of Management. She works at UC Davis. She's the director of web marketing there in Sacramento. And so what she did there is, it looks like a billboard to me because of the shape. I could be wrong, but here is it could be an envelope or something like that, maybe a direct mail piece. But what you can see what she's done in here is she's taken a lot of different things. It looks like there is a video in that. It could be a PDF document. That could be definitely part of it. And so it's kind of a nice degree there. And let's go back and see. Let's look at the last one. Courtney. And she chose a pizza company. Let's see. Visual examples and things like that. So it's Sheets Pizza. And she's giving some examples of about, you know, I think this would be kind of describing the company here, authentic and things like that. So is that helping give you a little bit better idea of what we're talking about? Just kind of a focused thing, and so you can nod or ask me a question or whatever you'd like. All right, let's look back here. All right, and there are others. I mean, those are only 4 examples from West Virginia. But if you Google the IMC projects, you'll probably find a lot of other ones also. So, of course, what we didn't see is any accompanying material. But again, I think that the accompanying material might be a Word document that kind of simply says, you know, our marketing plans objectives are this. You're going to have to do some assuming that that marketing plan has been done before, and you can kind of say, you know, we have received instructions from the marketing department to that these objectives are what we're going to do. I wanted to, is anybody familiar with canva.com? I mean, I see that some of you have logged onto it. Let's go over here and look at it. Let's see. Here is somehow, let's see. I'm just going to go to canva.com. I meant to have the homepage there. And I will say this is the very first time I have ever used this, but it is, I think it's pretty good. This is what I was just kind of noodling around the other day, and I did this. And I wanted to see what it would be like if you just took a picture with your iPhone. You know, all of these templates are things they have come up with that you can use. And when they have photos, you notice there are photos. If it says free in the corner, then you can use it, and you're not going to get in copyright trouble for using it because they have cleared the rights on that. Let's see down here, that one's free. Some of the assets over here, when I say assets, I'm talking about particular things like that. So images or fonts or things like that. They do have a premium one. So I've gone in and said, all of the people on our team, we're not going to be able to use the premium ones because somebody will have to pay for those. And they've done a good job of making the free things pretty good. You know, here, you know, that's a nice quality image, and you can make it as big as you want. And I would say just play around with this. But this picture of the, I don't know if it's a marigold or whatever, I just took from our backyard and just plopped it in there. And, you know, playing with some type there. All of that, I think, you know, it may feel uncomfortable, but slightly, but it's fun, and then you can save it. I am not sure if we can put all of this. We have a Bill Mentor's team, and then we have marketing promotions 3380. And in order to create a folder, it does look like we may have to go to that premium version. So, but here are, you know, several of you have signed up, and I will add the rest of you when I get notification there. So you can, I think you can do your own folder. So I was thinking maybe we could collaborate and critique everybody's work, but I'm not sure that will work, but we'll figure it out. That's basically here. I wanted to show you this particular thing. So here, you know, it's kind of looks like Netflix here because everything scrolls left to right, and but here you have a flyer. So, you know, you would start out figuring out, am I going to make a newspaper ad, magazine ad, flyer, just a card? Do I want to make a Facebook cover for my Facebook page? So they got a lot of pretty cool different things here. So you can just scroll through the, you know, it's a lot of your dimensions and things like that are already taken care of. So like I say, if you decide that you're going to make a Twitter post, you know, you could get that one. So that's, and you know, all of these are the correct dimensions. So there's one for happy birthday. You know, you could go in there and take some of these elements off and say, there's the, like there, but that's how easy it is to change things. So when you get ready to put it in your final project, you can just download it right here. Now, this one did have a premium image, so I would be careful about checking all that. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time, and my idea is not to have this cost anybody anything. But I think it's pretty good. Does anybody have any questions about it? You don't have to use this. Over here, there is something. Let's see. I did this one Saturday because now this was with another thing, but it's so very much like Canva. This is Adobe Spark. I did this this is in the format of an Instagram post. So we are doing the bike race on weekend after next. So I took kind of a template that they had that was actually for something completely different, but I liked the format of it. So I said, okay, I had the logo of the shed. I had the copy points I wanted to make. I had the images. I took this over here in the lower left from the shed's website. It did need to say, the date. Need to say what it is and refer people to, the website tourtogap.com and how to register for it. So that was an example of using a template like that. So okay, anybody got any questions at this point? Let's see. All right, Canva, great for print, great for social media, but what about video media? If video, of course, is so important. It's just a little harder to convey what you're thinking about. In the instructions, it talks about even if you have access to a GoPro camera, you can do things like that. I know you can spend a long time editing video because that's usually what happens to me. I sit down to do something and the whole afternoon goes. And that's not what the intention is, but there is the process, and this is used in the movie industry also, is storyboarding. And so I did find a little thing. Yeah, preview. All right, here is. Now this is a very long thing, and I think I'll put this on our Moodle page area. But can you all see this well enough to read some of the copy on it? Okay. Now, I think this is a little, maybe more than what we need, but it does give you the basics of storyboarding. The main thing is that what we need to know, if you're going to describe what's going to go on in the video or TV commercial, you need to tell us what the dialogue is going to be. You need to describe the action either by drawing or or specific notes about it. There are some things there. Now, this is what I've noticed is kind of getting where things to avoid. These are pretty. I'm not going to be super critical about that. It's this is not a film class, and so we're not going to worry so much about that. But they're good things to notice. You can use silhouettes, as your examples, so I'll post this, and it's a good thing to kind of look at. There are some resources at the bottom that you could look at more, and I have spent some time looking for simple storyboarding ideas that are kind of like Canva. I really haven't found any yet, but it's. I thought it was pretty good thing to show you there. Let's go back and look over here at West Virginia again. All right, there. This was Courtney's, and the this first person had. Let's look at her storyboard again. Just 5 scenes. It would be she may have. You might have something like this woman on a white background that you could kind of grab somehow and put together. I don't expect you to have Adobe Photoshop and other things like that. I will tell you, I don't think I have access to them anymore from last year when we did this class. What I said is, Word, Microsoft Word, good old Word, is okay for putting images together. And actually, on a TV script, there's one thing about a TV script that, let me see if I can, if they have a template for that. No, they don't. Okay. Screenplay. All right. I don't know if you can see this. First page, but here's what a typical screenplay looks like. Let's go into the. Whoops, that's just 3 pages long. It's a template, I guess. So. Okay, but just notice what it has is scene description, and it lists the character, what's the name of that character, what do they say, some notes. So it would be nice if you could like break it up into screen direction. What I was really thinking about was a something like this, where you start out and say, okay, because there's like a T with the script. You get down here, we're going to basically make insert a template. A table with just like two cells. So there it is. And over here you've got the dialogue, and over here you've got the does that make sense there? So screen direction, what's happening on the screen, and the dialogue, and it can go on for several pages there. So if you wanted to do stick figures and just use Word and not use anything else, that would be fine with me. That's just telling us that we've been here for about 30 minutes or so. So now I'm going to unmute everybody and see if you all have any questions, and we'll stop the screen share. And I'll go back to that. All right, y'all have any questions?
I don't. I think I've grasped what we need to do.
Okay. And you can always email me or ask for another video chat, which is fine with me. So anything that is not clear, it's fine. But we will get through this, and the idea is that it really should be fun. sometimes when I was very young, I was coming back to Abilene, and I've been in a graduate school advertising program, and I did the Ad Club newsletter. And so I wrote a headline that occasionally I cringe at because it might sound a little disrespectful, but what I did was it was the Ad Club, and Ad Club people are supposed to be pretty crazy, but it said in a really big type, it said, "No, this is not your church newsletter," because Abilene is kind of a churchy city, and this is not your church newsletter. Something different, something new. So it was. I just wanted to make a kind of something different and a splash and so forth. And I might have overdone it, but my main point is it's okay to do something kind of risky, and it's okay to use humor in your advertising. So please feel free to go ahead and do it. And any final questions before we stop and let y'all get to supper and other things?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, thank you all for attending. And if this format works, previously in 3370, I was trying to get everybody to attend one of these. And I think the best thing is to have people who really want to attend it. And we get a much better turnout that way. So, all right. Well, thanks very much. And if somebody else wants to see it, I do have that recording, and I can post it on YouTube for others to look at.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.